Hi everyone. So we're gonna talk about being good to the world, and these are little short clips or so on my playlist that are, as you notice, they're like 5-6 minute clips or so overall, and they're just pretty much me in a sense complaining about ill-mannered people or people who lack some courtesy in this world. So we're gonna talk about social media just a little bit, and I've noticed that when I was looking at all this social media stuff, there's always people tend to watch stuff that is funny, bad, or whatever it is of other people. And there are certain clips or so that is what they call random acts of kindness. Now, I have no issues with random acts of kindness, but my definition seems to be different than what social media considers random acts of kindness. So, what is a random act of kindness? To me, a random act of kindness is you go out there, you see something, and you do something nice for whatever situation, person, animal, whatever it is, and that's just that situation at that time. That's what I consider a random act of kindness. So you see all this social media, YouTube, random acts of kindness, but it's not really a random act of kindness because they already planned to do something kind to a person. Or they plan to do something kind and they're going to videotape them doing something kind. That's not a random act of kindness. That's an act of kindness to a random person. So they say, hey, it's a random act of kindness, and people think, oh, it's so nice that you see all this wonderful stuff people are doing to be kind to others. Giving this homeless guy $100. Well, that's cool. That's what you call kindness. That's not a random act of kindness. That's an act of kindness. So instead of saying it's a random act of kindness, maybe they should say acts of kindness, or acts of kindness to a random person, which is actually what it is. So whenever I do an act of kindness, no, I don't videotape it or record it for YouTube or TikTok or whatever it might be, not for a social media platform. But I do something kind every so often, even saying thank you to somebody. But I don't do it randomly. I do it as an act of kindness to a random person. Hey, maybe somebody was nice to me, so I don't randomly. I specifically say thank you to that person. But that's a random person, and the reason why it's a random person is because you don't know who's going to say thank you, who's going to say hello to you, or whatever it is. I live in the Midwest, which is different than living on the coast. The coast, people tend to walk by each other and never say hello. Well, Southern comfort, it's a Southern thing, is people tend to say hello to other people. That's an act of kindness. It builds good relationships. It makes you feel good about yourself. I know we have people from California, all these other states or so. People move. And when people move to the southern, southwest, midwest area, they're not used to people looking up, waving at them, saying hello or whatever it is. And it sounds like everywhere else in the world, people tend to mind their own business, be stuck on their cell phones, and never look up and wave and say hi or say excuse me or anything like that. And they bring that crap to the Midwestern area where I live, which is very frustrating because now you have more people who are not used to the culture of the Midwestern and they're not willing to adjust to it. They want to bring this crap to the Midwestern area, which was a very kind and nice and courteous place. I'm not saying that other states are not courteous, but that's kind of how Southern people do their thing. Midwestern Southern people do their, or this world does their thing, is to be nice to other people. And the simple nice thing is to sometimes say hello, good morning, stuff like that. And we don't need people to not do that. And just because you're from another state or moved from another state, you don't do that here. And I hear stories, hey, I just moved from New York or California. It's like, man, I just am not used to people saying hello. Well, that's okay. You're not used to it because you're from another area that doesn't engage in that activity. That's absolutely fine. But at some point, if you like it and it makes you feel good about yourself, it makes you feel more human, then continue that process. Don't just get stuck in your ways and not do it. Continue doing it. But that's the key thing is social media, they say it's a random act of kindness. No, it's just an act of kindness. Just be kind to people. Say hello to people. Not only will it make you feel good, but it'll make the other person feel good. Yes, every person you've met in your life was a stranger at some point. You became less worried about them. You built connections. You made them not want to hurt you is because you were willing to say hello to somebody. Because saying hello to somebody actually makes them less fearful of you. That's why all this courtesy that occurs in the Midwestern or the Southern states or so, it's always been that way. Because people were willing to be nice to you. People saying thank you, opening the door for somebody. It's just how human connections work, is that you're willing to look at somebody and say hello instead of ignoring them. A random act of kindness, well, if you look at it on social media, you rarely see random acts of kindness. You see acts of kindness to random people. Or you see a staged act of kindness, which is they already planned. So technically on social media, they stalked this homeless guy or whatever it is all this time to realize, hey, they were maybe an artist or a struggling, whatever it might, a struggling person in life. They had a bad situation and they stalked this person, and then they started try to show that, yeah, this channel was designed to do good or so, or whatever it is, and all the efforts and all the donations that this channel got was to help this person, finally get back to, being a productive member of society. Well, kindness-wise, that's fine to show that, hey, humanity is helping other people, but don't disguise it as a random act of kindness. It's just being kind, helping your fellow neighbor. That's just an act of kindness to a random person. Thank you.